What's happening, man? Back like I never left. Boy, getting to it in the kitchen, boy. But again, the idea is every single day, regardless of what I'm doing, stop 8 p.m. Eastern time. Hop on here. Today I was in the middle of, what was it, beef stew, pot roast? Beef stew, yeah. I was putting this beef stew together, man. It's too late for me to be eating, but it ain't too early to get it ready for tomorrow. And with the weather change, boy, diet went crazy. I was craving chicken sandwiches and burgers and all of that. Only for one day, because it got warm for one day. Very next day, it's freezing again. Freezer was empty. Thought we was done with freezer food for the year, but all right. It's going to be crazy too, because with these weather changes, you go from eating hot food to eating cold food to whatever you wake up that day. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all colors all around the world, pay attention to what I'm spitting. I'm giving you straight facts. Bald heads beware. Welcome to No Cap. Man, I ain't gonna hold you, man. It's been rough. I don't know what it is. I had a whole lot of like time consuming events happen that kind of set me back. A few of them I know were a direct result of what I was focusing on, not focusing on working and being productive, was focused on distractions and what about this, what about that. So things got away from me. So when problems arose, I already was distracted. So set myself back. So the weekend leading into the week turned out to be strenuous, but it ain't nothing but another decision to be made. We're going to get to it. But as I'm assessing the landscape, talking to people, reading social media, getting the vibe, I'm seeing like I ain't the only one that's been like affected with just negativity and pessimism and stress. Just seeing it and feeling it in the air. I don't stress personally. I'm just like, dang, I bet I'm trying to get there, but I got to start from here. Now I got to start from here. I got to start from there and walk my way up to what the goal is. So I see it as just elongated journeys to a short distance. But I see the negativity everywhere, man. Like folks stressing. Life is hard. Things are bad. Bad news, negative news is everywhere. And then it reminded me, oh yeah, man, it's almost New Year. Because to me, like the New Year is that time of year when death and shedding of all past afflictions and news and attachments, all of that falls by the wayside. If I were to paint a picture for you, it's like the snake shedding the rest of the skin down to the tail, and we get into the tail end, and all of that's about to fall off. And the New Year's springtime when life comes about. It never made sense to me, right, as a kid, why we celebrated New Year in the middle of winter anyway, because I'm like, it's gonna be cold still tomorrow. Ain't nothing changed. We still in the middle of winter. What's new? Then you read into it and realize that white folk do what they do. We don't take the calendar. We gonna remix it based on our ego, set it up for whenever we feel like it. And when you think about it, you read into it, you're like, oh yeah, it makes sense. The new year's supposed to start when the spring comes because new life, new year, new cycle. And we are a representation of nature. Your cycle of your life begins at birth. New life. The end of your cycle, the end of your life, death. So as we going through whatever the new year was to everybody else, Folks wake up January 1st, it's still cold outside. Still dealing with the same problems they had before, but the propaganda and the perspective that folk that sold you was just like, all right, bet, cool. I'm gonna wake up and just be a new person during the same season. And then how that work? New season means a new season, not just outside, but for yourself. So, nah, I don't celebrate January 1 is new season because ain't nothing new happening in the earth. Ain't nothing new happening in the world. So, springtime, New Year's to me. But when you assess the entirety of that schedule that we have become accustomed to, start realizing that right there sets us up for a lot of issues because, again, it's still the dead of winter. So you still dealing with the gruel of the hibernation period. For all animals, when it's cold outside, that means take your ass in the house. So you still dealing with your body telling you, nah, we chilling. It's cold out. We ain't going outside. All the baggage that come with being indoors, like, all right, we prepared to be in here for the long run. And towards the end of this cycle, that's when we start mentally and physically preparing to be active again. So for New Year to be in the middle of a hibernation period is redundant. Because I can say, all right, bet, cool, I'm about to start working out more. I'm about to start eating healthy. Ain't no produce being cropped or harvested or planted till the springtime come around. You in the dead of winter. Dead of winter means, hey, bro, whatever you get out there, don't expect it to be high quality because it's wintertime. So them strawberries you get, they're not going to taste like the ones you get in the summertime and the fall time. And blueberries you get, not going to taste hot. Hey, they out of season. So we don't know what had to be done to get them. We don't know where they came from. Don't know how long they going to last. So how you going to start a new diet when it ain't available? You working out in the middle of winter time, but your body is physically like, bro, nah, sit down somewhere. All right, you want to work out, cool, but you still not going to be in tip-top shape. You're not going to regulate all your chemical reactions and all your hormones until the sun is out. Because the entirety of our existence is based upon the sun. Is it hot outside? All right, this is how you're going to behave. No sunlight, this is how you're going to behave. The sun is up, more energy. The sun is down, low energy. Simple, common sense, right? But that new year, it really sets you off on the wrong foot because, again, you're trying to start something new in the middle of a dead cycle. You can't do that. Like with women, you can't on a period not getting pregnant. It's not gonna happen. Billing cycle with whatever company you with, yeah, you already on this billing cycle. You can try something else, but we're gonna keep you on this schedule. You pay on the 17th. I don't care what you do. You're gonna wait to make any changes to the 17th. So when you hear people say new year, new me, it's like, it's too early for that. For one. And then it comes the question, all right, why is it that we wait for a full 365-day cycle to start making grandiose changes and character adjustments and behavioral adjustments? Another question, like, bro, we waited the whole year. The experiences, the traumas, the opinions, the perspective that you got the entirety of the year, you were acquiring information and you're just going to stockpile it until January 1. And in the middle of the dead period for all of life and nature, you want to start trying to make instantaneous, big character and behavioral changes in the middle of the dead period. And folk wonder why a lot of the New Year's resolutions fall flat. First reason is terrible timing. Like, common sense will tell you that you want to become more active. Why don't you start when your body is already attuned to want to be more active? It's sunny out. It's warm out. Let me move more. Compared to it's cold outside. I want to go to sleep. There's no sunlight. Yeah, let me get up when it's super early in the winter and it's probably its coldest and try to work out. Right. But the second part is the huge part, and it connects a lot to people's beliefs, their perspectives, their community, their elders, the entirety of your environment that makes your existence happen is connected to the second part, where according to majority of religions, you're supposed to do the best that you can today and repeat that process every single day. So if you follow in that process, a New Year's resolution would be impossible, because you should be having that same mindset and that same perspective every single day of your life. So what changes am I trying to make on January 1 that I wasn't making on December 31st, 30th, 29th, 28th? And that is my issue with the New Year's approach, is as long as I can keep you from improving or having the ability to improve every day, then I can pretty much control your schedule, because I'm going to build in time for you to make changes. And then after you become attuned to an improvement period, or I give you something to celebrate, and it becomes part of your schedule, part of your life, part of your customs, and you pass that down generation upon generation. So I'm going to teach you that throughout the year, and yeah, all right, wait till next year to try to make any changes. Whatever we doing, let that ride, and then come see us about it later. One of my folk said a lot, where the folk that were trying to hold you down and the folk that are being held down, why would they share the same beliefs? They're trying to give you something to believe in. They're giving you something to celebrate. And if they're trying to hold you down, why would you take whatever they're trying to give you? The entirety of your existence, they've been trying to keep you from flourishing. So what would be the purpose of them giving you anything to celebrate other than brainwash? And I try not to get into conspiracy theories, but I mean, if you're trying to manipulate me and your entirety of our relationship is you trying to get out of me, everything that you give me is going to be aimed at the goal of manipulating me, including any beliefs, any opinions, any perspective, any customs that you're trying to give. It all will be toward manipulating me. And then the only thing I can do is question why. New Year's resolutions are really like the craziest thing when you think about it, because who says that you live the next 364 days after January 1st to even see if it comes through? And majority of New Year's resolutions are not, I'm going to eat more salmon, I'm going to go on this vacation this one time. No, it's typically things where you try to schedule out, in this entirety of this year, I'm going to try to accomplish this throughout the entire year, which makes you think that you have the entirety of the year to accomplish these things, when you don't. You could die on the first. You've been thinking about New Year's resolutions all year, and you wait until the end of the year to actually put a list together, and you're going to wait until next year to act upon it. You knew you needed to eat better, but you like, man, I'm gonna wait to do it. You knew you wanted more experiences for yourself, and you like, I could do it today, but why not tomorrow? Tomorrow isn't promised. Like, and this is a conversation I have a lot, especially with friends who acknowledge themselves to be Christian. I'm like, okay, God is in control, right? Then how can you make long-term plans that are out of your control? Or folks who believe in spirituality, if it's in the universe's hands, all right, if it's in the universe's hands and it's out of your hands, why are you thinking twice about it? Why are you considering it? If it's not within your power or within your responsibility to control it, why are you thinking twice about it? Really, try to keep shit about as simple as it can get, because all you have and all that any of us are promised and that we are for sure guaranteed is the moment we're living in. Tomorrow is already too far out of the way. Can't see it. Yesterday is already gone. The only present you have is the present right now. So what decisions are you making for right now? Who do you want to be? What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to do? Who do you want to be around? What kind of changes are you trying to make? All of that is stuff that you should be doing right now. And taking for granted the time that you have and the opportunity you have is one of the biggest faux pas that we make, and one of the biggest mistakes that we make as human. Like, yeah, I got this. I'll be all right. I got the time. And you don't. All you have is legit right now. And then that bleeds in the other areas of life, because another opportunities folks are like, I want to be an entrepreneur. Okay, what are you doing for yourself right now? Nothing. I'm just going to work my way into it, and then eventually I'm going to try and I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to learn on the job when I get there. Entrepreneur is a lifestyle. It's not an occupation. It's an adjustment of life. I want to be a husband. Okay, bet, cool. So how are you behaving? How are you carrying yourself? I'm gonna wait till I meet a woman because I want to be her husband and not just a husband. I mean, that makes sense, but there's still responsibilities that you need to be able to handle on your own. Situations that you need to be able to take care of on your own. And that's not stuff that you just wake up one day and like, all right, I'm gonna be great at it. No, you have to actively choose to do what you want to do right now and then grow as you improve every single day at it. I want to work out. All right, cool. I guarantee you, you have to do your best today, because your best today is going to look completely different from your best 90 days down the road. So pushing back day one is pushing back day 90. So the best version of yourself gets farther and farther away. And you make these assumptions simply based on the fact that somebody is fixed this point on a certain date and guaranteed you that this date will always be this date. But that comes under the assumption that you'll see that date. Or the assumption that that date is even the best day to try it. I like to tell folk to lean in and be more accountable, because you're responsible for the quality of life you live. Anything that you accomplish in your life, you're responsible for, you're accountable for. Your failures, your successes, your behaviors, your characteristics, all of that you're accountable for based on the decisions you make. And life is as simple as You want it, just do it. Going back to their religion, right? Born with free will. That means you literally can do whatever you want right now. And life is simple. People make it complicated. Whatever you want to do right now, you can just do it. You can pick a left or a right. Left is, here's the reasons why I can't do it, or why I've been told I can't do it, or the perspective on why this isn't going to be or can be accomplished, compared to the right. All right, I'm going to do this and get it done. A perspective is built, shaped, and given to you by the same folk that told you that the middle of the winter is the start of a new year. Interesting, right? But I mean, a lot of the things don't seem important until you start dealing with the effects of it. And the effects typically hit at a point where it's too late to try to reverse course, but now you got to chart a new plan. But that's the end of that topic, man. I'm going to try to ease in on Mondays and really try to build out a schedule, try to figure out. I don't want to talk about when, simply because so many different topics, so many different interests I have. Still haven't gotten to talk about anime at all. I love anime compared to the adult entertainment that we have available. Nah, I enjoy like the History Channel, Discovery Channel, being educated and learning things, but need to scratch that itch for creativity and imagination, and nothing is more creative than cartoons, and there's nothing more imaginative than anime. The storyline, how they express the storylines, the art behind the fact, or the art behind the entertainment is probably second to none. Because Americans, we've gotten so far away from investing in cartoons. Ever since Disney Channel replaced Kim Possible with Hannah Montana, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and they got away from Recess, country ain't been the same since. But Japan, they doing it up. And as Americans, we eating that shit up because it's imaginative. The creativity of the human mind attracts the creativity in other human minds. And we just can't get away from it. And adult entertainment here is simply like drama, negativity, pessimism, and like darkness. There's got to be attached to some kind of crime or some kind of fear. No, thank you. So I'm going to get into anime one of these days and break down which ones I like, why I like them. Like conversations in the anime world, on the anime scenes. It's easy to like scale a lot of these conversations, but when you're dealing with like subjective and creative atmosphere such as that, a lot of it is opinion based, and the conversation is really the whole point of the debates, is just having the conversation, because you'll never know who is what. And that's one of the areas that bring humans close together, and we need a lot more of them, because there are not too many realms or worlds where people are invited to engage and interact with one another. And any opportunity or any space in which human interaction is at the top of the list of to do, I'm with that. I also got to get into sports because NBA season starting to end. The playoffs are already set. The play-in is already set. If you already looked at the NBA standings, the top 10 on both sides is already determined. You're just trying to figure out who's going to be where by the time the playoffs start. NFL, everybody's starting to get ready for the draft, and you can start to see who's going to turn out how. The draft and free agency are going to be huge, and then you just waiting to see who makes it to the season uninjured. But the business behind both of these leagues is important too, and folks not really paying attention to the business of it. I'm not really a fan of college basketball no more, just because, I mean, the stories is dead. One and done does not sell college basketball the way player development and familiarity did. So I'll get into sports eventually, but right now, more character-based conversations, simply because the real new year, springtime, is around, and self-improvement, character improvement, and morals and values is at the top of the list for when people come back outside. If you don't get it now, you'll see when people start coming back outside just how people are maneuvering, how they're moving, what their priorities are, what their interests are, what kind of behavior is popping up. It happens every year where folks at the real New Year, springtime, start coming back outside, and they come outside as new people because the cold periods pulled something away from them, or something died, or they peeled something away from them. And now they've refocused and recentered themselves towards whatever the fuck they were lacking or wanting when it was cold outside. So folks that was single through the wintertime, no Valentine, they come outside looking for the hoes. Folks that were looking for self-confidence and were at home and not liking what they were seeing in the house and not comfortable with how they felt about being in the house and not getting sunlight, they come outside looking for self-improvement, and so on and so forth. So really want to harp heavily on character, morals, and values, because that shit about to go a long way. And a lot of the behaviors and shit that you're going to see, you can see it coming from a mile away if you know what you're looking for. And I'm going to give you game on what's going on, how to maneuver, how people are maneuvering around you, and yeah, we can go from there. I'll catch you tomorrow.